accessible. Always accessible.
What does that mean?
Oh, it means that my mother had a job where I could call her at any point in the day. It means she could practically come home at any point in time because she got off work at a decent hour. It means my dad was always there to coach my soccer team, to referee my soccer games, to coach baseball. Like, they were always there. So I think we were blessed as a family to have parents that lived in a small enough town to have a decent enough job to just always be available for a family. So that's a toast to me.
Toast!
Was good or bad?
Oh, it was all good. It was all good.
Well, to have, we had talked about putting together a list of things, and the first thing that came to me was, we had talked to Brian last week that neither one of us really had time to sit down, and I know in my instance, because it's the one thing that you taught us is family first. So it's just been too busy dealing with a lot of stuff going on with us that haven't really had time to sit down and put a lot of stuff together. You got a little more? All done?
I'm thankful for some of the little things, like the little birthday songs that Grandpa calls and everyone sings you a happy birthday. I always look forward to those. Or like on Christmas or Easter and everyone. And you guys are so cheerful. I think giggling with Grandma all the time. Having her little giggles. And then
our fish kisses.
our fish kisses. And then our Grandpa's pancakes. I'll never have better pancakes than those. So those are just some of the little things I think I really appreciate.
Toast!
Just little things that you remember.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for you guys having this down there to hunt every year. So that's some of the most fun I have, and my best memories are hunting there. And one of my favorite memories was probably just this past year when Maddie killed that chicken, and we look out the window and there's Grandpa picking up the chicken and throwing it in the fire in the trash can, and lighting it on fire.
And Maddie killed that chicken?
Yeah.
Where you at, Maddie? You gonna get a dead dog.
Looks like she's dead. No, I'm just kidding. My favorite memory is my favorite times are when Grandpa and Grandma always make the biscuits and gravy. And that they're always really good. Better than the biscuits that Dad makes. They're like hockey pucks. That's a joyful memory.
Sam, don't you remember the fun we had when we didn't go up to hunting camp and we stayed home and we had bagel bites?
Yeah.
And you guys played on the tractor, and Abby says, I'm riding to town. When I come around, you wave. So Sam is standing and wave. It's so cute.
Now I actually mow the lawn with it.
I appreciate just on a practical level how your marriage is real. Like, you can be picking at each other one minute and then you're smooching on each other. I mean, it's kind of real life. You don't hide much. It's who you are, and you make it work in such a positive way, because things aren't perfect all the time, and you're not always making each other happy, but you're always thinking of the other person.
Who's left, Jack?
Jack and Charlie.
Well, if you got more, keep telling them.
Well, I'm thankful in general for all the many ways in which you contributed to raising such wonderful boys, and especially for how you've raised the greatest man that I've ever known or met. And I'm thankful and appreciative for the little singing granddaughter on my lap. I'm thankful and appreciative for how you've welcomed me so graciously into your family, and how, even though I don't have as many memories as everybody sitting around here, in the short period of time that I've been here, I've acquired some of the happiest memories in my life.
And you'll get more memories from this. We are alive.
But, you know, like Luke, I mean, hunting season is some of the best times we have. We look forward to coming to see you every year. And even just, even when we came down in July, I mean, over the years, there have just been so many happy memories already. And I'm happy to build more.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. And you're not thankful for anything.
So I'll tell you a memory I have, and this is how I remember it. I'm pretty sure it's not right, but it's how I remember it. When we lived in the trailer court, well, a couple from there. Just protecting your family. So these are how I remember it. The dog kept jumping on you, and your dad warned this guy, if the dog gets out again, he's coming after him. And the dog jumped on Brent, and then I remember Dad going to get the shotgun, and the shotgun came out, and I don't remember he didn't shoot the dog or anything, but I think stopped you from doing it. But that dog didn't get out again. That dog didn't get out again. I remember that was a funny one. And then I don't remember, I was with David Cordaway, and I got in, and I got punched in the nose. Now this is how I remember it, so don't correct me until I'm done. I got punched in the nose, and it bloodied my nose. And I came in crying, and Dad, knelt down. I was 5 or 6 or something. And my dad said, now you go back out. This is how I remember it too. You go back out there and you punch him right back in the nose. And I remember Mom standing there and no, you can't do that or something. And he said, I didn't ask you. Now, son, go back out there. And I did, and that was, I don't know. I don't remember what happened after that, but that's how I remember. I don't know if that's the right way, but that's how I remember it. So the point is to go back out. Don't be a wimp, but go back out and fight.
His words to me in that situation was, I don't want you starting fights, but you better finish them.
But finish them. That's right. That's right.
What about the one when you were at school? You told me a little bit of it, but when you said someone banged your head against the door.
Oh, that's not a memory we were talking about today.
No, but you said that it wasn't funny, but it wasn't.
No.
Say stories about them.
About what?
Porky and chicken.
No, we're not talking about Porky and Chicken.
That's
Break his butt!
No.
Come on!
It's not in your eye yet.
No, that's something else.
You don't want to be like Israel.
Grandma used to take care of it. Then when they were little.
I think I really appreciate you guys taking in Maddie for us when Dad deployed and then he was gone forever, because I really love her to death, and giving her away would honestly probably kill me. So I'm really thankful for you guys taking her. And then also for Grandma always making sure we had clothes in our closet by going up to the church and always getting the clothes, even if they weren't the best looking, but they were something.
And the big, and the life-size doll that was Sam's girlfriend.
You still have it?
Yeah, I gave it away though.
Oh, what did you name her?
It was either Carly or Emily.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, we used to have a picture of him, and he was
Kissing it.
yeah, kissing.
Dipping it.
Yeah, he was kissing me.
I remember when I first met you, you hugged me right away. No hesitation. You just walked right up and hugged me. Made me feel right at home, right off the bat.
Can we finish our camera?
Done.
I think one of the best memories that I guess good, I don't know, that I had, like, and it came later. There's a lot of good ones, but one in particular, I was so ready to leave home. I don't know if you remember this. You probably do. But I was so eager to get out and be on my own for whatever reason. Stupid choice. But I can remember how it affected my dad. How he didn't want me to leave so bad.
I can remember Brian calling me and saying, "It's gonna be okay, Mom."
Yeah. And now I can't get enough time with my parents.
That's life.
Just 3 weeks ago when you're at my house, I didn't want you to leave. Like, you have no idea. Like, yeah.
Okay, we're moving in next week.
Yeah.
We got a bedroom for us, so here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I can think back at how I was what'd you say earlier, Mom? Full of piss and vinegar is what you said. my mom 15 years ago, she wouldn't use that term.
No.
I remember her.
Just says it how it is.
You know, that was me at the age of 19 moving out. And, you know, here I was moving out west or whatever, and my dad wanted me to go to college. But it didn't matter. I called him up for anything, said, "Dad, I need money." "How much do you need?" There was no questions asked. There wasn't anything. "Dad, come pick me up from Seattle. I'll be there in a week." There's never any questions asked. So I'm pretty grateful for the shining example. Because shoot, all of you know, I can't even make it 4 years. How you make it 25 or 50 is beyond me. That's a feat that is rarity nowadays. You know, and I think another great memory I have, I laugh so hard to this day, is thinking about your 25th. And we have this big fancy to do at the church, and everyone shows up. And we get a camera to Brent. Everyone was so happy and so proud, and Brent's doing his best to to take the pictures, and we get them back and they're all blurry. You know, and that was one thing. I felt bad. Mom was so angry, and I felt bad. But then we also, there's back in the days, another one you guys will never know the struggle with is the VCR tapes. Here we are. And back in the day, you had to knock out the little black tab, right, to record, or to not record on it, because it had the tab and the cassette tapes. And for whatever reason, we put them on top of the TV and the TV stand. And we had a whole bunch sitting out there, because back in the day, we were recording whatever, right, recording our own TV shows. And I can remember Mom and Dad had their, who videoed it? Someone videoed your 25th, and it was a big to-do. And well, somehow we were watching it. Whatever, it got watched a handful of times there, from what I remember, and got placed up on the thing.
It didn't.
And
Oh,
so Brent grabbed it. I don't think there was a label or whatever. It was in the VCR. We hit record, and it was back in the day on MTV where it still showed music. But yeah, MTV was in that crossover. So they were showing a lot of old Saturday Night Live episodes, and we were recording. No joke, no lie, can't make this up. Mom puts it in to watch, and there's Richard Pryor telling the dirtiest, nastiest jokes. She was so mad. She cried. Brent was sitting in the chair just hugging, and Mom's just wailing on him. I was laughing. He was hysterical because he messed up the pictures.
I wanted my video.
And he messed up the video. Oh, off the chain, hysterical.
it was all on there on the same thing.
Yeah. Well, he only recorded over about the first 10 minutes of it. But hey, on the bright side, he got a lot of good Saturday Night Live stuff from the 70s. Yeah. That was a good. I laughed so hard.
Blurry movies, blurry pictures that I didn't.
Yeah, it was a good time. I'm glad we all made it here because you know who knows when's the next time we're going to be able to be together. And it's sort of a shame because I guarantee you, there's a lot of people throughout the years that would love to be here to celebrate this. From Fort Morgan, from Durango, I guarantee it. But, you know, I guess this is good and intimate, but hopefully your church does something too. Cause I guarantee it. I guarantee you there's a lot of people that want to be a part of this. So.
I'm honored to be a part of it. I actually think of it, I don't think I've ever been to a 50th anniversary celebration at all in my entire life to attest to how rare that is. It's a beautiful thing these days.
I think
it's the 25th.
Yeah.
That is not to be overlooked or discounted. That is a tremendous thing.
Thank you. I was thinking about the things that are valuable to me and what I like as being a father is I like going to church with my family, and you took me to church. I mean, I can't overstate that. I like to coach my kids, and Dad coached me, and I can't think of a game that I was at that you weren't there watching. That's kind of how my weekends are now. I'm either coaching or watching a game, and as a kid, and maybe you guys can answer this too. You love to play, but it's nice to see you love your parents sitting there watching, and that's how it was for me.
Soon after you got married, you called me and you said, thank you, Mom, for being here with my games.
Yeah.
Because there's so many kids that don't have parents going to their games.
Yep. And I like to just play with my kids. Dad, you would usually when you'd get home from work, I was in the front yard playing with Tim Dennis or wiffle ball with Brent or playing catch or something. And you were still in your uniform, and you typically would come home and you'd put your lunchbox on the porch and start playing quarterback. You didn't even change your clothes before you started playing with us. And
Lunchbox was always full of candy.
yeah, and I always remember that you were playing catch with us before we were.
Buy that for the kids that were going to eat it when he came home.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm just thankful none of you was in jail. Somebody asked me one time which kid has been the worst. I said, well, you can't.
Wasn't me.
Can't determine that.
Not it.
They've all caused problems. It's just they were all different.
No.
So which one's worse? I don't know.
I can tell you this, I didn't drive the car through the garage door.
Wait, what?
That was little.
That was so funny. That was another good memory I
No,
got.
that was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was you. I was on the
How old
porch.
was I?
Wasn't me.
Yeah, it was
How old was I? That was me.
Was it you?
Wait,
It was over Virgil's.
He drove it into Virgil's
No.
garage and hit
Yeah.
the water.
Wasn't me.
I think it was him.
I did it at the house.
I didn't do it.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you didn't bust the door. You just might have been it.
Yeah.
He went right through that garage door. I was on the porch.
I forgot about that.
Wham! That
I forgot about
back up the truck. Back up the car. Okay.
He was 4 he didn't go to university.
That was funny.
Why does that not surprise me?
And Jolene, my mother always told me, it's okay for your kids to see you fight, but it's just as important for them to see you make up.
We've never made up.
Remember putting an arrow through Verver's window.
Oh, no.
Mhm.
I forgot about
And that's the one lesson that I learned very young and that still sticks with me is own up to what you do.
Yep.
You know, I was standing in I don't remember who I was with. You know, could have been Bobby Miller
Greg.
or Greg, yeah. And was shooting back and forth in the yards and let one go and pow, hit the window of Verver's. Nobody, you know, everybody else scattered. I could have just as easily, nope. You know, I went and told my dad, and he made me go walk across the street and knock on the door and tell Mr. Verver. I got a nice new fishing reel out of it.
From Mr. Verver?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I remember that.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, a week later, he come and give me a new fishing reel.
You know, it's amazing how my brother we'll talk about certain memories that I don't have a clue. I can't remember. They're not in my memory. And I can talk about memories that he doesn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So all of you kids are the same way. There's things I remember that stuck with me about you guys, but it's not. I don't know what I wanted to say. I'm just proud of Brian and Jolynn and the comments that I get everywhere, to every game that I go to. Everybody says I like Brian. I like his attitude. I like his what's it called? His anyway, how he is with the kids, and he's a good mentor and a good coach. And that one kid cried at the end of the game because he didn't want to leave his teammates or his coach. The other day, who was it? At Sam's game. And so I'm really proud of Brian and Jolene in that respect, that they go to church, they honor God and try to do the best with their kids. It doesn't always work, and they'll hopefully not have problems or difficulties to go through, but I think, they're with God, they can handle it.
Anyone else?
I want to thank you two for coming and picking me up anywhere I need to go, like Julesburg, when I didn't have a choice to meet you guys anywhere, all the way down there. I really appreciate
Driving
that.
her home late at night.
And bringing me everywhere. Like, it means a lot, actually, because I absolutely love coming to see all this family. Like, this family I just get along with, and it just feels like home, and I just thank you. And then also to everyone, thank you for also waiting for me for everything. Like, it's not easy living in Kansas and coming down and not being able to see everyone, or coming to hunting camp, and because I can't, because Mom won't let me or something, and like also just like waiting for me just to come do this because my eye was hurting. Like, it's just like it means a lot just to be able to come. And then for Uncle Brian and Aunt Jolynn, I want to thank you guys for being there for me. Like, I called Uncle Brian the other day because I had problems with Lizzie and I didn't know what to do. So it like meant a lot to be able to call someone and have my problems talked to and for help and guidance. So
I'm thankful just to be a part of this family, because I hear you guys recanting all these stories, and it occurs to me that I don't have memories of a parent attending my games. Like you said, it does. It means so much, but I don't know that feeling, and I never did. And I'm glad that my kids do. Brent, when he was working nights, would get up and go to, these early soccer games or anything and everything. Even though he didn't get any sleep, he would still go with us. And I never did understand. I thought, well, I'll go. You don't have to go. And he would. And I get it now. I get, you instilled that in him. It's a wonderful thing. I didn't get to witness or be a part of those things, and I'm glad that
I didn't always
glad
get
to be a part of a family that holds the morals and values that I cherish so much, and that I've grown to adopt myself as an adult.
I didn't get to all of Brian's games or any of the kids' games when they went out of town.
You were. I can't remember you not being at one.
Well, I didn't. Some of them I had to work because you would go during the daytime or something. But all the ones, as much as I could, we were together. And then there was times we were all at the ballpark from 6 o'clock in the evening till 10. We didn't get supper till 10 because all of us were playing. I played for a couple of years. And,
So let me stop you there. You'll get to talk in a minute.
oh.
So this is our turn, and we're telling you stuff. You're gonna tell us stuff shortly.
I just got it.
You're gonna tell us stuff shortly, and we're all gonna sit to listen to you. Anybody else?
Well, I think, going with what Sherry said, I had a different situation with my parents too. And, one thing that I appreciate, and I know it comes from you, Dad, and you too, Mom, that your job and your work isn't first, you know, and the idea that once it starts interfering with the relationship with your kids or the amount of time that you can spend, then you change. And I've seen Brian do that. I've seen him change jobs. I've seen him change positions when it started interfering. And I never saw that with my dad. My dad just, you know, and I see it with other parents in town, and, you know, parents of these kids where their dads are workaholics or are striving to just make more at the expense of what they have at home. And, you know, that's something you don't necessarily, you know, you can't really tell somebody to show them. That's a very valuable thing to model.
Yes, and they modeled it well for their boys.
Well, fortunately, I don't get to come home to throw the ball around. I get to come home to have tea parties.
That's okay too. It's good
Been
too.
there, done that. I came home to easy bake ovens
Well, I'm sure that's coming.
and finger painting the table.
No doubt
Say, wait till
that's
she
coming.
But I think the point is, it's not that you're playing ball. It's just that you're spending time with your kids like your dad and mom did with you.
Well, I can't tell you the last
It's
time
that
we
simple.
watched TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah. Well, it goes beyond that. Like, yeah, my dad was always at my baseball games or wrestling meets. But my dad was always there to support me when I screwed up.
Yep.
He was always in my corner. And whether he agreed with it or disagreed with it, he was in my corner fighting for me. So was my mom. Yeah, that's what it goes to. It's not necessarily about the ball games. It's the support. And yeah.
And even when you're done, it wasn't a critical. Here's what you should have done, or here's what. It was just good job, son.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Any more?
Yeah, I just want you to know that you were relevant back then. You're still relevant today. Still the cornerstone of the family.
Yep.
And you can see how we're growing. You're still the cornerstone of the family, or the head of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still looked to by your sons. You're still looked up to by the grandkids. Yeah. So I don't know if you know that. And I know we don't tell it to, I don't tell it to you nearly enough. But I don't know. Maybe it took going away for a year to realize, you know what I mean? Or maybe, I don't know. But maybe it took my kids going missing for, you know. But yeah.
Also for you loving everyone, I guess at the same time, like they said, they make mistakes, and you know, Lizzie, she's not here at the moment, but even when she's gone, you both still really love her, and you know, as everyone knows, she's pregnant and that she's engaged, and I think it's like, and I'm not saying it's a mistake by any means, but it's not like following as everyone, and I think that since you guys still love her and everyone still loves her, I'm sure it means a lot, and for me it does too. So if anyone never makes mistakes, you guys are still there with arms wide open.
I still remember when Tony came and told me that you called him on his birthday to sing to him. His own dad didn't even text him, and he was just so thrilled, and he was laughing and had this big smile on his face because Grandpa Ollie took the time. And I know Tony's had some troubled years, but it's really meant a lot to him to be as welcome in this family as he is too. I think your example reaches farther than you realize. That's what we're all probably trying.
That's what we're trying to
Use
say, yeah.
words to point out, but it really does.
I always remember you would, I mean, both of you seem to know everyone in town. If we went to the bank, it wasn't just to deposit some money somewhere, it was to, how are you today? And you were always talking and making friends. It was a guy across the street with the garden that you were giving vegetables to, or whatever. Yeah.
Because they were the last ones out of church today.
Last one's out. Yeah.
I never have to wait for anyone. I had to wait for you guys today.
Yeah.
We're always, that's what Dad said, why are we always the last one to come to church?
Because you're talking with people. It's important. Yep.
Yeah, we don't even, I don't know my neighbors. I wave at them, say hi.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the Puerto Rican behind us that don't
Already
speak
knows
a
him.
word of English. He's giving vegetables to
Yeah.
him. The guys,
The rotor killer.
the guys out hoeing the corn.
Yeah.
You know, and he'll do that today.
Oh, well. You know, I often think I'm kind of a lazy, I don't do much, but I don't see me from other people's perspective.
You're older and retired. When I think of you younger, when I was at home, it seems like you guys worked your hind ends off.
That's right. That's right.
Always
Always.
going.
Always going.
Um,
Especially, sorry.
yeah. No.
Especially with 3 kids.
Yeah.
Playing volleyball in the living room, kicking a soccer ball, breaking the TV, swinging the wiffle ball bat, hitting the ceiling fan,
That was me.
like, right? Like, yeah. I remember going to the lake and Mom catching this massive catfish. You know,
I saw the picture.
big
that you
catfish.
shared.
Yeah, I mean, working all day and to a job that you got off before we got home from school, so it wasn't even like we wouldn't have to go to daycare or anything.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
you know, cutting all our hair when we got home, and, I mean, making sure our clothes were clean, were games, and we got them dirty. You know, it was our mission in the game to get them dirty. Yeah.
Well, I remember you telling somebody, Mom does everything.
Everything. From making sure that we had all the equipment needed to whatever wrestle. To do anything, you made sure that we had it.
Yep.
And we didn't go without. Yeah.
I mean, I think the love of just having a love of nature too, and being taught outdoors. I mean, a lot of kids were always talking about their trip to Disney or whatever. We went fishing. And
In theory.
we went fishing
I
and
can
camping,
remember-
and that was the thing. I love that today.
The only vacation that we didn't do that, we went to South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not-
Otherwise, you know, I remember sleeping in a tent at Leadville, wanting to go swimming in that lake so bad it rained every day. And the last day, it rained so much we had to go into town at Pizza Hut and
That
slept
was
in the
it.
car.
What was
Mhm.
that?
You know, that little Fort Greene